everybody, welcome to the Grim Report. Grim here, your Grim reporter for the Grim News. Well, guys, in Mexico, they found some type of standing stone, some type of pillar of sorts. And the thing about it is that here's what it says, what the article says. I can't read the dude's name, so I'll skip over it. But it could be a message by some of the New Mexican first explorers. That's what it says. A set of mysterious stone pillars found in the state's northern region, northern forest, has people, questions. You see stones in Mexico, in the forest, you're gonna have questions, right? I know I would, like, okay, what the hell are these? They say they're carved, they got carvings in them. They're covered with, kind of like symbols, I guess. They have history, but history so far, no one seems to know anything about it. In other words, they're way before Inca, way before that. Nobody knows about them. Nobody knows much about them. But they predate history, or known history, basically. One man has now made it his quest to find an answer, hoping someone will step forward and help solve the mystery. Spans across decades. In other words, this is not centuries, this is decades. His name starts with a C-I. His name's C-I-M-A-R-R-O-N. I'm not good at saying these names. I'm not going to butcher it. I just spell it out for you. That's how I do it. You know how I do it. Now, if you don't, you know now. It was a gallery, guys, but I'm not looking at much for pictures. But I will say there's faces carved in it. And there are some symbols that are vague. From what I could see, they were very vague, but they aren't carved very deep into the pillar itself. They were like carved lightly into it, like they were done with hand chisels or, not metal tools, of course. This guy's from northern Mexico. Okay. They want to know who made it. They asked who made it up in northern Mexico. What does it mean? Asked Luis Serna, S-E-R-N-A. If you know it, A. He's from northern New Mexico. He was born and raised in Springer and C-I-M-A-R-R-O-N. Luis S. The S word. I'm just going to call him Luis. Has spent his retirement writing about these things, about the people and places that make up northern Mexico. He said it's been his lifelong dream to speak history and explore. He said, and he looked at the images of the first stone pillar and found that C word, guys. Business. Sierra's excited. It is easy to notice. He calls mystery behind the stone pillars of New Mexico's most intriguing, comparable to mysterious rock, or what some known as the Los Lunas Decalogue Stone on Hidden Mountain in Visalia County. I'm messing these up, guys. It had been some meaning to somebody, and the big question is, really, who do they mean? What does it mean? I really want to know what it means. I know it's meant something to some group of people or whatever, but I'd like to know what it means. who did this too, as well. He questions, along with the mystery now found himself the middle of began on July the 7th, 2013, in the lobby of the St. James Hotel in Cimarron. They use this word a lot, so I'm just going to say the CI word. He was walking around the lobby there, kind of looking anything. He's looking around, like you do in a lobby, a hotel. You're looking for something interesting to look at, something to read about, something. People do that. I mean, you're in a lobby. Most people are either walking around looking for someone to talk to, or looking around for for something interesting that draws your attention. He says he's noticed a single white stone pillar tucked away in the corner. He looked at it and the previous experiences, Middle East experience. He noticed that there were symbols on it that certainly did not have anything to do with New Mexico. He said. He also says the hotel's front clerk told him that the pillar was Santa Fe trail marker. He knew it wasn't, so he went back and looked at it all around and took pictures of it. You snap. Something interesting. I know me personally. I would look it up on the internet, take pictures, do research. That's what I do. I do research. It was 4-sided, 42 inches tall, stone pillar. Sits in the lobby of the St. James Hotel. Lewis took pictures of the pillar in December 2013. While land grants were common in the area, Lewis didn't believe the pillars marked the boundary of the land grant either. Lewis photos showed the stone covered with symbols or carved into the rock. Predominantly each side features Templar cross. So that does suggest metal tool working. There's Templars. Well, he says the suspense at the time. Lewis then, when it was brought here, intended of dropping it off on the East Coast or on the Gulf Coast of Mexico. In the Pacific, it was brought all the way through the country into northern New Mexico. While many points them to New Mexico's first known foreign settlers coming from the European countries, Lewis thinks the Spanish and other Europeans didn't make the pillar either. Since the theme is the Templar cross, then he thinks they were about Jerusalem, the Middle East, the Solomon Temple, Lewis said that basically but then there was believe it or not, skipping ahead, guys, to shorten this up, sometime told Lewis tried to figure it out, figure out how it got inside the lobby of the hotel. And then Lewis said Sinsenberg detailed the story from 1987 involving a local rancher who said he'd have brought the stone to a hotel after finding nearby forest. Around that C word, guys. There are very large ranches, cattle ranches, and one of them was owned by the McDaniel family, said Lewis. And at the time, Milton McDaniel had left head of ranch operations. Lewis says Sinsenberg told him McDaniel had gone up in the valley area to look for grazing land, for cows. Cows gotta have a place to eat. If you've got good cows, they eat grass. Don't feed them hay. Don't feed horses hay. Sorry. McDaniel was up there. McDaniel said that his stone was not knowing that it was or who belonged to or anything else. He loaded in the back of the truck. He's just gonna toss it in the back of the pickup truck. You don't know where it's from. I'm just gonna toss it in the back of my pickup truck. And he takes it to the hotel. It was a news story. It first aired on May 23rd, 2017, this year. And KRQE News 13 claims a member of the McDaniel family contacted KRQE, disputed the narrative Lewis offered on the original discovery of the stone pillar in St. James Hotel. The person claimed that the stone was initially found on McDaniel family property and was not found in the Valley of El region. The individual declined to provide timeline, discovery, or any other further information. It's still unclear how accurate the St. James Hotel stone pillar origin restores exactly where the first story came from, but Lewis said it hasn't gotten much more help from another attempts to figure out the stones. Still a mystery to this day, guys. But there's other one, a second pillar in situ he found. Carson National Forest found the second white stone pillar, similar size, similar markings, in Vallow Valley, Carson National Forest. The article said in a cemetery, a small cemetery, who wasn't exactly where it was found, that for fear it might have vandalized the statue. So basically, these are probably grave markers, guys, of Temple Knights or Jewish settlers. So that's kind of strange. So these stone carved statues are actually probably great, because it said it was found. Doesn't think the pillar is a gravestone. Doesn't think it was a gravestone, but they were found in a bunch of Invalid Valley, Carson National Forest. The archaeologist says a small cemetery. It's in a small cemetery. They don't think it's a gravestone. So basically, this pillar that he found could be a gravestone of a Templar Knight or somebody. There's still, I bet it's a Templar cross on it. And the writing, well, in mid-2016, archaeologists with the USFS provided this photo, this additional pillar standing Curtis Lewis. Yeah, okay. Believes both pillars are religious symbols, and starting with the peaks bordering the top of each stone. Lewis said he's shown the photos to a rabbi, as well as who raised his own theories. Pointed to a cup on the side of the pillar sitting in St. James Hotel, Syria. Believes it might be a menorah. The earliest menorahs only had 2 candles holders on it. Lewis said he was told by the rabbi he spoke with. A small circle towards the top of the pillar, St. James Hotel, might also be an Egyptian sun symbol, according to Lewis. Or all-seeing eye, said Lewis. Pillar still standing in the mid-wild, Lewis said, is 8-pointer star evident. 8-point star of David, if you want to get into that. But there's a lot of theories you can't really can't be sure. And I found this. If you want to read this, I found it on Coast to Coast. Of course, you can look it up there. It'll lead you to the full story. But kind of weird, huh? But they're still developing on this to actually find out what it is. But it might be a menorah, guys. So that raises a question. So then that means it's definitely not a Gravestone. Definitely not a gravestone. So that's a good thing. I know this went a little long, guys. With that said, guys, I'm going to give you this. A stone found in New Mexico on a ranch. Actually found in a forest. The guy lied. Wouldn't say who he was. Whatever. But with that said, guys, I know it's running along, so you guys know. Vault of Nightmares. The Vault of Nightmares. Dark Waters. Lakea. Chaos Theory Productions. Lakea the Librarian, sorry. Vamp Lugosi. And Wicked One. Great stuff from them. So, good luck. Good night. God bless.